As far as the injury report for the game, and this is by our guy Hunt Palmer over on LouisianaSports.net. You can check that out. Put it out there yesterday afternoon. So Trey'Dez Green is somebody that is progressing towards playing. Now, when he went down, it looked bad. Like, oh, man, that would just, I've seen that injury 1,000 times, unfortunately. But it was, a good report that it was just a sprain. Now, he missed the Florida game. But chances are he could come back for this Southeastern game. But I'll kind of keep throwing it back out there. Now, this is a quote from Brian Kelly. Trey'Dez was out at practice, moving around on Thursday. We threw the ball to him a little bit. I would say that he is, for Saturday, we're going to put him as questionable. I'm all about respecting your opponent. I'm also a meathead. I hated missing any game. I didn't miss one until the NFL, I'm pretty sure. Truly miss a game because of injury. And it was a Week 17 game. We're playing against Denver. Both of us were already eliminated from the playoffs, I think, and I hated it. I hated it. It was awful. But there's no Southeastern Louisianas in the NFL. So, it's a different situation, I think.
Yep.
This is a game that they don't need Trey'Dez Green. Now, again, if you want to get him, a handful of plays, maybe it's 5, whatever that number is, okay. But, how careful, Matt, do you have to be with a Trey'Dez Green? We've talked about Garrett Nussmeier playing in this game. Look, you're here to play. I get that. And I love the fact that everybody wants to play. I do. But there's going to be a lot of questions about why.
Yeah, we've brought up that question 2 segments in a row now. You got to tell me why. You can rush him back, and maybe the respecting your opponent part is the process of listing him as questionable without the intent of playing, because there is no reason to play him. There is no – for what reason would you put him out there? Whether are you trying to give him some stats? You trying to get him back into shape? You trying to get his confidence up? What possible reason – could you have or make to put him out there besides just having the ultimate coach's outlook of players play games? We have a game. If you're able to play a game, you play a game.
Yeah.
And that is kind of the reason we're talking about Nussmeier playing this week. If the torso injury truly has been affecting game planning and play calling and how we're operating as an offense, what is the reason for not resting him and not getting him back to as close to 100% healthy as he can, if it's even possible within the season, besides just saying players are here to play football. We are playing football this weekend. So if they can go play football, they're going to play football. Yeah. That's the only kind of attitude. And I'm not saying that's the wrong attitude to have, but hopefully we're a little bit more got a wider vision of what this team's goals are, what the season holds. It's a long season. So you want to have a pass catcher that is dynamic, that is big, that creates unfair advantages to even the best athletes in the SEC. Yeah. You want to have him pretty healthy when SEC play
with a road game against Ole Miss next week. Mm-hmm. So he's listed as questionable, and you're right. It might be respecting your opponent and just putting that, and you're practicing him because he is good enough to go, but obviously you still want to be cautious with him there. So I honestly would not expect to see him. He might even go through pregame warm-ups. He might be dressed, but I don't know that you'll see him in the game. Yeah. That's just my guess on this situation.
No, I wouldn't think you would. I mean, honestly. Yeah, and actually, I don't know the rules. Is there a rule, if you are listed as out, can you practice?
Oh, you're saying because now you have to have – yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. Now you have to have an official, injury report now in the SEC.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have to list somebody as something to be able to practice.
I do know this.
Obviously, you want them to.
So I know this. If you have an injury but you're full participant in practice, you don't have to list that on the injury report.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We learned that with a torso injury.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
So if you're practicing your full go, you don't have to list it.
Got it.
But I don't know the flip version.
The reverse of that, if you were listed as out in the game, can you suit up and go practice?
So, all right, Trey'Dez Green going to be questionable for this game. Wes Weeks is doubtful for this game with the calf strain that he had. Again, another player you're absolutely going to need against Ole Miss. Todd McShay had a great clip about talking about Harold Perkins and the star position and him creating nightmares. And he's like, and the Weeks brothers, like Mike, you know, just kind of goes all like in the physicality and how the defense is playing. So I'm glad Wes Weeks is getting the love that he deserves, because last week before he got hurt, man, he stepped up when his brother went out of the game because he hit somebody too hard in tackle football. He played incredibly well. And that is a player that has continued to develop in that linebacker room, man. Devon Key stepped up, and he was a good player last year. I remember having so many conversations with Blake about him in the offseason. They love him as well. That is such a deep room. Like, that one makes, like, yeah, you're doubtful. you're not going out there.
Right.
We got plenty of guys, and we're going to need you against Ole Miss there. So that one makes all the sense in the world, not to try to rush back. And, I've never had a calf strain. I don't know how, you know, annoying that one can be. Like, I've had plenty of knee and different sprains and stuff. So going to be doubtful for this one. But, again, another player that when he went down – and you're sitting there and you're looking through your binoculars on the broadcast and you see him holding it, like, oh, boy. The parents came down on the field. Oh, gosh. So good news for that one, too. It looks like it's only going to be a couple weeks.
Yeah, great news. But, I mean, thinking back of the game, it just last week, the amount of people that had to step up and play over their skis, had to play in a position they didn't expect. When they put their head on the pillow Friday night, did not expect to have to contribute against the Florida Gators in that type of atmosphere to the extent that they did. Guys that just stepped up, and like Brian Kelly said after the game, I don't know if they really knew what they were doing, but they did it.
But they did it fast.
They did it fast, and they did it with bad intentions. So that's why we love this defense. And I actually, randomly, I just watched the first half of our defense play. I watched the All-22 yesterday, just our defense yesterday against Florida. And, man, they are I came away very impressed with the IQ of our linebackers when they're pressuring. I came away very impressed with the aggressiveness, even more so, of the Blake Baker mindset and philosophy and the teachings that they have. It seems like every time they are at least bringing 5 guys, which turned into 6 usually because it was some sort of green dog. Yeah. I did come away a little bit wary of, if I was game planning against this, there are holes and exploitations to take advantage of if you can catch them in the right defense. That's any the
aggressive defense for sure. I mean, I remember playing, you know, you play against the Ravens and the Steelers around the time that we were in the NFL, and I remember being in those meetings and being like, hey, guys, there's plays to be made. It's like, yeah, there's plays to be made, but also Haloti Ngata and Terrell Suggs are hitting Phillip in the face before he can, you know, Ed Reed's coming off the edge, or Ray Lewis is coming through the A-gap. The same thing, like, it's like, yeah, there's plays to be made, but see Troy Polamalu's jumping over the center. And like so for sure. Like, that's when you're aggressive, obviously there's got to be, like, and so, like, that's the thing for them is, can they continue to be as aggressive and play to that level and have as much success? Because eventually there's going to be, like, at least one play in the year where their aggressive nature, a team takes advantage of it because, you know, for whatever reason, maybe the blitzer slips down or maybe the running back has a really good pass protection on him. It's going to be a big play. But that's what you know, when you play that style, and Blake knows that. For sure. Some of those things are going to happen.
And you live with that risk. And
for sure.
You live
and my God, please keep living with it. Don't play quarters coverage and just sit back there and be passive.
It is. You would much rather be the hammer and not the nail. And they did it. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, you are allowed to do this because of people like Mansour Delane. Early in the game.
Maybe he might be the team MVP.
So he is a guy that can understand route concepts and diagnose what they're trying to do very quickly. Like, there was a play early on in the game, and they run a little wheel route, a little pick play, wheel route with the inside receiver, and they were in man coverage. We were in man coverage, and his guy goes down to pick. The wheel route comes. The linebacker covering the wheel route goes underneath the pick, and once you go underneath the pick, you're dead.
You're dead,
right? Because the guy hits it over. He realizes that, bails on the guy that he was covering to cover the wheel route, and I can't remember if he knocked it down or something. I can't remember. But he makes the play on it. Dead play, LSU ball. And left his guy wide open because he diagnosed it and read the eyes of DJ Lagway, who DJ Lagway has got to get better. that diagnosing things, he just does not diagnose the defense very well, very quickly.
And again,
obviously,
but that's part of it. These are college quarterbacks, and you're kind of playing an NFL style of defense right now. As far as multiple as you are, you don't see that in college football. Like I watch a lot of tape, and you don't see the multiple defenses, the multiple things that they're doing on tape that I'm watching.
Yeah, you have to get really creative if you're trying to take a look and break down this film without being within the walls of the LSU football facility, without understanding their actual calls and what like. I'm sitting there, if I'm trying to like chart cover 1, 2, 3, 4, or 4 dog zone, or 3 strong dog, or whatever it is.
Right.
I have to write a long ways. Like, okay, this is cover 4, but they're man on 1, they're trail on 3. Like they're very complicated defense that are hard just for the standard person to just go say, oh yeah, they're playing quarters coverage. Well, they are, but it's got a lot of other principles to it too. So
got some bylaws in there,
and there's a lot of communication going with that defense, which speaks to that leadership and the guys, the veteran presence out there in the secondary and on that defense, because they're communicating and changing coverages throughout the play, like midway through the cadence, they're doing it and they're catching it, and everybody's on the same page. There was one time where one safety didn't get a call. Yeah. And this was after Whit Weeks was out. Yeah. So they're communicating. So the linebacker is telling everybody what to do. One safety didn't get it. Lagway scrambles out to the left, throws a touchdown down the sideline. Got wide open. That was the only time I saw somebody miss an assignment. And the safety,
they got a holding call,
and it was a cloud coverage. It was cover 2, and the safety didn't go over the top. He thought it was man.
Yep. And that's the one they got the holding call and got called back there. But, yeah, you're right about that. As far as Garrett Nussmeier, before we take this break, Brian Kelly said he's feeling good. We had to limit a lot of things we did over the first 3 or 4 weeks. He's finally coming to practice feeling good and getting into a good rhythm. He's had his best week of practice, so we want him to play and go through the game at the level where he's comfortable. To hold him back really at this point would not be the right thing for him. He's excited to play because he feels so much better. All right.
Hey, he had his best week of practice this week, felt the best, but guess what? If he didn't play this week, he would feel even better.
Maybe.
Next week.
Maybe.
He'd be a little mad. I'd be mad.
Maybe the torso injury is one of the ones, you don't want it to get too stiff. You don't want to sit there and have to stretch your back out. I don't know. Look, I don't know torso injuries. And when Doc came in the other day, he's like, yeah, it could be anywhere from basically your neck to your pelvis. I'm like, oh, that's a small area. So I don't know. Like, we don't know exactly, like, what it is, but all right, if the head coach feels good, if the player feels good, if he feels like he, needs to get him in a rhythm before you travel to Ole Miss, all right, who am I to say that that's not factual?